Well, hello there, everyone. I really should be doing these in like January, February at the latest, but, well, I got this one in earlier than I did last year, which I didn't do until the fall, so. Okay, so, what did I spend my Patreon monies on this past year, 2023? Well, if you remember from last year, we ended with some extra monies in the Patreon piggy bank. So we started 2023 with 668.07 already in the bank. And because it was a heck of a year, I actually earned a lot more on Patreon than this was easily my highest earning year. So 1115.44. That normally I make about 50, somewhere between 50 $60 a month. What happened this year is my Eurovision video. Well, one, I picked up another Patreon at the $10 a month range. I've got a couple people who pay that much. Yeah, love you guys. You guys are weird though. I had a bunch of people who were really excited about the various Eurovision videos I did, and several of them subscribed to my Patreon for a few months just to show their support. Which, very cool. Glad you enjoyed the Eurovision videos, which most of them were Patreon reward videos. So, all right. So that's a total of 1783.51. Let's see what we spent that on. So, starting out, we had a Patreon reward video in which I was asked to play Elden Ring. So I did. Managed to pick that up for $30. And died 20 times in 5 hours. So, is that good? I don't know. But I did. Movie Mandates, that podcast I do with my sister, continued this year, and most of the movies we mandate each other watch, we find on a streaming service. Between the two of us, we have a few streaming services, so we cover a lot of ground. But sometimes movies that we want to see are not on streaming services, so we rent them. So we rented Moulin Rouge, the 2001. God, that movie's 20 years old now. There's a bunch of different Moulin Rouge movies, but we watched the more recent one. Earthquake, Jupiter Ascending, A Fantastic Woman, Primer, Sorcerer, Days of Thunder, School of Rock, Summer School, and Chef. So, almost $40 in rentals there. Moving on to the Extra Life charity marathon. I bought an ice cream maker for $30 so that I could make spicy ice cream for the spicy food challenge that I did during the event. I bought the Who Donut mystery jigsaw puzzle thing for about $20. The video games playing for the Extra Life charity event was Legend of Nayuta, which was $50. WarioWare Move It, $50. Mario Wonder, $60. Yeah, I'll drop 60 if I'm buying someone a present or if it's for the charity stream. Of course, this was Patreon money, so one way of looking at it is I didn't pay anything for it. I bought a clicker, the counter, this clicker counter thing, where I counted all of the ellipses in Legend of Nayuta, and that's what it ended up on, 658. So I had this weird thing. It's like I'm gonna donate a nickel for every ellipsis, and the more money we raise, the more each ellipsis costs. And I ended up donating $500. Actually, I had to cap it. There's so many ellipses in that damn game. All of the spicy food for the spicy food challenge, half of which was donated. Thank you very much, Suzanne, I think, or Riku Palandina. Thank you very much for donating half that spicy food. The other half was $42.70. I have snacks $2. I made a boo-boo I don't. That was the food that I bought for my sister and Super Metal Dave, who unfortunately couldn't make it this year, to eat. I know I bought more than $2 worth of food, but like by the time I caught that mistake on my spreadsheet, it had been several months later. So I didn't want to go back through my receipts and try and figure out what it was. So whatever, it was probably 20 something, whatever. I ate the food and I ate most of the cost for that one. I bought a month of Restream so that I could restream it to all of my platforms. So in addition to Twitch and YouTube, also my Facebook and Twitter pages. Moving on, channel stuff. Starting in the summer, I believe, I started a Gem Comics review where I went through the entire run of Gem of the Holograms comics. All those comics cost about $170. I also reviewed the live-action Gem movie from now almost a decade ago. That was $4. And then my PC monitor died. Well, actually not that. It was earlier in the year, like in March or something. I have a dual monitor setup, and one of them died. So I spent $200 on a new monitor. I need the dual monitors. It makes my editing life a lot easier. Also makes the streams that I do doable, including the Extra Life charity event. So that's why I felt comfortable using the Patreon money for that. I also bought a little dongle that examines the colors on the monitor so that I can calibrate the monitor correctly. That I bought on my own. That's just my stuff. So that's not on the list. Then my hard drive crashed. Which was not good. So I bought a new 2 terabyte SSD card, or hard drive rather, which is got on sale for $183.16. But I also had to buy a housing for it. That was $20. And then I also spent $80 on a utility that I used to... There's a thing crawling on my wall. But I'm recording. So that I could pull the information off of my dead hard drive. Because it was touch and go there for a while. I was wondering if I was going to be able to... it's like, Andrew, don't you back up your stuff? And it's like, yes, I have an external hard drive that I back things up to, but I was all of the stuff that I had like 3 or 4 months of movie mandates, raw footage on my main hard drive. I hadn't saved it off to my external drive yet, so I was like, oh no. I just lost several hours of podcast stuff with my sister. But I was able to, using that Get Data Back Pro utility, I was able to, put the old hard drive in got a new hard drive, slapped it in my computer, hooked up the old hard drive to the cradle, used the Get Data Back Pro to pull all the stuff off of it. So that was good. And then I bought 10 terabytes of cloud storage and spent, I think, 2 weeks transferring everything to the cloud. So if that ever happens again, I don't have to worry about losing all my stuff. Now, that was $1,190 of storage space. And if you're using your fingers to add, you might go, well, you just went over budget. So what I did was I decided I'm just going to subsidize $700 with the Patreon monies. So that's what I did. So that was all told in 2023, $1,706.51. So subtract that out from everything, and we're going in. We started 2024 with $77. So Now, am I going to earn over $1,000 on Patreon in 2024? Almost certainly not. No. A lot of the extra monies from last year were kind of one-time donations from fans of the Eurovision stuff. Um, I mean, I'm gonna do one or two more Eurovision videos this year. I think probably some full reviews like I did with Lordy's Hard Rock Hallelujah. Um, but I'm not guaranteeing. I can't guarantee that people are going to go. Money! Let me throw it at you. I mean, I definitely do not mind when people do that, but also times are tough, and a few of my Patreons their financial situations have changed. So I've lost two of my Patreons in the last several months. So Patreon monies I expect will be a bit lower over the next year, and that's perfectly fine because I'm doing pretty well. I started my Patreon in 2017 because my cost of living had outpaced my salary. And I thought, well, if I want to keep making videos for YouTube, particularly the scripted ones, I'm either going to need to subsidize my income with about $300 a month or work on my career. Sadly, didn't have enough support on Patreon. I was getting like $30 a month, and wonderful from the people who are supporting me, but I'm like, I'm going to have to make a career change. And it's taken several years, and I did. And a year and a half ago, I got a new job, and that's going very well. And for right now, I'm ahead of the game. I am in the black. My salary is ahead of my cost of living for once, so that's really nice. Sadly, the job is it's time consuming, it's stressful, it's tiresome. So I can't like take time out of my workday to work on scripts or anything. Any YouTube shenanigans I want to get up to has to be outside of work, which it always should be. But you know, back in 2012, 2013, the glory days of my YouTube channel, my job was essentially answer the phone when it rings and answer the emails when they come in. Phone wasn't ringing, no emails, do what you want. So I worked on YouTube scripts. I don't have that luxury anymore, which is why most of what I do on YouTube these days are live streams and podcasts and things that I can do off the cuff that take less prep time. Which is a shame because I do like the scripted stuff. I just don't have much time, and when I do, I don't have the energy for it. But so what I would like to say is, if you want, there are lots of ways to show your support for my channel. Just watching my stuff, that's one way to do it. Comment and talk about stuff. That's always fun. Join me on the various streams and hang out in the chat. All kinds of ways you can support. You don't have to do it financially. I'm in a pretty decent place. If you want to, if you want to support me on Patreon, you're most welcome to. But please make sure you're in a financial position to do so. Right? If you can't support me financially, totally fine. As of right now, as long as my home doesn't burn down or my internal organs don't explode, I'm totally fine. So take that into consideration when however you decide to show your support for the weird stuff I do on YouTube. So that's it. That's how I spent the Patreon monies. What would I like to spend more Patreon monies this year? Well, I need to buy a new camera. Not the webcam, the camera, the one I use when I'm sitting on the couch. I would like to get a 4K camera. It would be really nice to just shoot wide and then crop it to where I need it and then render it at 1080p without losing any resolution. That would be wonderful. I'd also like a camera that I could mount a microphone to or plug a microphone into so I don't have to record audio separately and sync it in the edit, which is a pain in the butt. So that's also the button that on my camera that allows me to scroll through the menus. It broke off, so the camera's actually very hard to use now. So that's what I'm planning on spending my once I build up my Patreon dollars. That's what I plan on getting as a new camera. So that's what I've been spending the monies you oh so generously gift me all the time. Thank you very much for your support. Glad you enjoyed the weird stuff I do on YouTube. So that's it for me. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.